Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, everyone, we are live. Welcome back to a Friday night live stream here at Christ Center Ironworks. So glad to have you all in the house this evening, or should I say the shop, armed with my coffee and ready to go for another fun-filled adventure, a fun-filled forging adventure. Say that 4 times fast. Woo! That's a lot of F's all in one sentence. How are you doing this evening, Jessica?
I am doing good, everybody, and welcome. I see some new names, and I'll just go ahead and call out a few who are right there in front of me. Bracy Thacker, welcome. Vash Stampede, MK Blacksmithing, Jeff Daniel, Josh Brown, and Island Metal Forge, of course, our moderator, always in the chat.
He's not new.
Well, no. I just saying hello to him.
Well, hello to everyone. Good to have you here, all the new faces. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, you should. If you're new to the channel, we do these every other Friday night. We give away a multitude of different items, everything from just regular door prizes, along with once a month, for the whole year of 2020, we've been giving away one anvil. What anvil is that, you ask? It's this anvil over here. Ta-da! That's the show, folks. Go home. The wonders of coffee and jitters, right? Yeah. No. I'm not jittery yet, but by the end of the evening, let's hope. All right, so we've been giving away one of these 66-pound Achaio anvils, and that's one of the things we'll be giving away in this stream. So be sure to stay around and join us. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Check out me doing my glute workout. Bam. Bam. Feel the burn. Picking all that stuff up. Ah. All right. As you can tell, this is a live presentation. Oh. You can't have that much jackwagonry without it being so. So, who do we all have? I've seen some super chat just happen, so I want to thank you for that, whoever that may be.
Yes, we have a super sticker and a super chat. The original super chat was from Stephen Watkins, who said, "Let's get this party started." Yo from Minion Smithy.
Hey, thank you, Minion Smithy. Greatly appreciate it, Stephen Watkins.
And the super sticker was from Yamez. It was a mustache.
A mustache. There we go. As you all can tell, for those of you who've been around a little bit, I did have quite the squirrely beard in the last live stream. I decided to knock it down a little bit just for fall and grow it out the right way. Got to get me some beard product, and so this way I can grow it out for being like Santa Claus come the Christmas giveaway live stream. So I'm going to continue to grow it from here on out, and we'll see how long we can get it before Christmas here. So tonight's stream, here's the way it's going to go. Tonight's stream is a little bit different, so we're not going to have a ton of forging. We're going to continue on our process with this hacksaw frame. The main thing that we're going to work on is we're going to actually fix a crack that we had, a stress crack, and we're going to do that by brazing in the forge. So I will have to kind of shift some cameras around so you guys can see it actually take place, and the brass melt and the braze joint actually take place. So we're going to have to do some fixing on that, and we'll also have to we will have to fit up our little spacer nut here, our little spacer washer onto the shaft of our handle here, or onto the shank of our handle. So we're going to be doing that this evening, as well as brazing and fixing the crack that we had on our scroll. And we can go to camera number 2, Jessica, and I'll showcase what I'm talking about there. So here on camera number 2, you guys can see it. There's a square shank here, and then a round part that's going to be threaded. Now, as you can see, I've done some cleanup work on this piece. Not too much, because we got to get it hot and get it all nastified. And then I will do some more file work and cleanup work on this piece afterwards. But I've got this portion here, that's a part that we forged in one of the streams. I will need to get that to be able to fit up all the way up here against the shoulder here as you see it. So right now it doesn't do that. It just fits over the threaded portion or the portion that'll become threaded. So we need to actually drift this to being square. So we need to drift a square hole in this piece right here. So this way it'll fit all the way up on our handle shank there. And then, can they see that there, Jessica? Just barely?
Yes, faintly.
Can they see faintly that crack? So what I've done to prep this crack, can they see that okay?
Yeah, there you go. Just keep tilting it around a little bit.
So there's a crack right here. And what I did is, that was a stress fracture. I went ahead and filed it out. I had to file the crack out, and then I heated this whole thing up and I bent it back this way to close up that gap a bit more. It ended up putting this in a much better position for our hacksaw blade, so that worked out good. And then that's the part that we're going to be repairing with brazing in the fire there. And then it'll get filed down later. I'll probably share this repair on a community post. For those of you who are subscribed to the channel, you'll see that community post where I'll show that actual repair, how it looks after that. And then we'll progress on with the rest of the hacksaw, the handle fit up, in the next live stream after this one. So that's what we'll be working on this evening, if you will. And we'll probably start with drifting this larger, or drifting that to a square that'll fit on there. And then we will move on to the actual setup for the brazing. We've got a bit of flux here. We have some little chunks of brass, and we have a catch plate. That's very important. We'll get into that. And then we also have wire. We're going to wire on the catch plate. So this way we can actually braze this in the fire. But we'll get into all of that good, juicy, detailed stuff here in just a few minutes. So I'll set this all out of the way. Questions, Jess? Comments? What do we got going on?
Firstly, let me go ahead and address the super chats. Debaka Maker, thank you for the $20 super sticker. It is a pair saying goal.
Oh, thank you, Debaka Maker. Appreciate you. What else?
Yes. Also, thank you, Alice Harvey, for the how's it going super sticker.
It's going well. Thank you, Alice Harvey.
And Gordon Farmer sent a super chat, and he says, ooh.
Ooh. So, is that it?
Yes, there's been multiple comments about your beard. They have noticed your beard is different.
They don't like it? They like it.
No, they just said, somebody said you torched it.
Yeah. Gone it goes. Oh. All right, we got this warming up here. I'm just setting this on top of the pile. I'm setting this little spacer washer on top of the pile. I don't want it to sink down in there. It looks like a nugget of Coke. You don't want it to just drop to bottom. Usually you want to cover stuff up. It kind of helps it not scale up or have excess scale on it. But in this case, I want it to, I want it to just sit on top and get conduction type heat on it, just from one side at a time. All right, get this out. I've got a square punch here that I'm going to be driving in there to drift it. Get all that stuff prepped up. And you're giggling.
I am. Bison Alden says, what? Did Roy say he has flux?
Uh-huh. And I'm going to be using it for the appropriate use case scenario for flux. Not drowning it with flux either. Everybody likes to pick on me. So while that heats up, I will talk a little bit about the giveaway items that we're going to be giving away this evening. So in addition to the 66-pound anvil, I'll back up the truck a little bit. This stream is going to be a little bit more slow-paced on the actual fixing the frame and things. We'll definitely get into that, and that's what we'll work on. But since we have quite a few things to give away as well, door prizes, it's going to take a little longer. It's going to be kind of a slower deal. So if you're watching this on the replay, you may have to skip through to find the parts of the actual process, forging process, if you need to get to those. because there will be an ample amount of me just running my mouth. So, okay, so the giveaway items that we'll be giving away this evening is here recently. If you haven't seen the video, you could go to the main channel page and look at it. I just got well, I say just, 7 months ago, I bought a tool, a CNC plasma bed. So I have a CNC plasma bed here in the shop now that I have been cutting stuff, and I've been making a product that I hope will be a product. We'll see. We only have had one sale of it so far, so it's not really a product. It's just, it's a fancy tool for my own purposes so far. But we'll be selling skillets, and we are doing that in preparation for like Christmas and to be able to have like some gifting items that you can do. We will also be selling different types of Christmas blanks and things of that nature, getting closer to Christmas. So I'm making these skillet blanks right now that I've drawn all up, and let me tell you, that's been a whole process. Let me show you how these look. But we have 3 different sizes over on our website. I don't know if you would go, it doesn't help to go to camera 2, so we just stay on camera 1, right? So we have an 8-inch skillet, a 10-inch skillet, and a 12-inch skillet. And these are all adjusted for when you sink them, that they come out to 12 inches or come out to 10 inches or 8 inches. So they're all slightly bigger than that size because you suck up a little bit of space when you do those. And we also have 2 different handle options. We've taken care of some handle options here where we have a hook tail or rat's tail type skillet handle, and then we also have the classical like a teardrop design skillet handle. These are really easy. I'll have some tutorials coming out on how to actually make these things up, but I've tried to eliminate a lot of the difficult parts of making a skillet, quick part. So I'll have some videos coming out in the next couple of weeks on doing these, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to be giving away a 10-inch and an 8-inch skillet tonight in the stream, and we'll also be giving away some sticker packs, and with an addition, we'll also be giving away a spatula and a ladle skillet kit, or a blank kit, if you will. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You can thank all of the channel members and the people that support us on the regular with super chats for all of these giveaway items, because they are what are paying for these things to be shipped out the door to you free of charge. So if you do win those. So thank you everyone to all of our channel members and all of the people who support us on a regular basis through your super chats for these streams. So everybody give them a round of applause. If you notice that people have green names, chat badges when they come up, and they got a little flaming anvil, those are channel members. And those are people who have decided to become members of the channel with a small contribution every month. So they can have all that. So if you want to do that, click the little join button and you can become a channel member too. Enough of that salesman get up. Are we okay, Jessica? This is hot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I go ahead and forge on this? Okay, let's go to camera 2. All right. So bring this out nice and hot. Or just drift from one side first. All right, got that through. Now I'm going to have to find a way of punching that thing out. Should have thought that one through before I did that. See what happens when you start getting ahead of yourself? You think, I got this. I'll be able to tell everybody how to do everything. It won't take up too much attention out of my mental space. There we go. Boom, got that out. And I'm going to go cool. I'm going to go ahead and cool my square punch real quick. What's going on there, Shug?
Oh, just a few comments and questions on the skillet stuff.
Okay. we'll get to that in just a second. Let me check this. Are we still on the secondary screen? All right, that's coming up close. Not quite close enough, but that's okay because the other end has to be drifted to square as well. So we still need to drift that down just a fuzz more, and hopefully that will fit up on there real nice like. So we'll get that hot again. Vice?
Yeah.
I don't get the reference.
Maybe it's the only piece you're just doing.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't use the vise for holding the outside, but Yamez might have been commenting, use the vise by just setting it on the vise so I can hammer out the punch. That might make sense that way, but then you all can't see it from the secondary screen. So, all right, questions, Jess, while this piece is heating up.
Yes, Bryson Alden says, I think they are great blanks, but I find the difficult part in making skillets is sinking them without a proper swedge form.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to give up the secret because then no one's going to watch the video. Huh? Well, there'll be a video, but so to sink a skillet bottom, the only thing you need to find is a ring, whatever it may be, whether you bent a round piece of rod around in the dimension you need, you use the end of a pipe, anything that is a circular ring that is the size of the bottom, the square area of the bottom that you want to be able to actually cook your eggs and stuff in. And then the sides take care of themselves after that. That's kind of the main key point there. So a lot of people overthink it, like I have this big swedge block, or I have to have this perfect form and things, but you can actually set down a skillet in a ring-like form. In the videos that I plan on doing on this, I have a video series I'll be doing on this, I will go over very specifically the different types of items you can find, a lot of times for free, that make perfect sinking swedges for skillets. And so I'll show a couple of those methods. So this way, that'll help everybody out there. Go ahead. Do we got time for a story, or you?
Oh, yeah.
Quick story? Okay. I didn't want to, if you got a bunch of questions.
You're fine.
You okay? All right. So quick story time. Some people don't know this. The way I got into doing skillets, and I used to make them, I used to hand cut every circle by hand myself, and then forge up the pans and then make the handles. The way I got into that, I actually had a customer come to me and say, hey, I like your stuff. Have you ever thought about making a skillet? And I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, well, do you think you could make a skillet? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a blacksmith. I could probably make a skillet. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard. And so I ended up making a skillet for this client. And so we got to talking or whatever. And so he got this skillet made from me. And I'm like, okay, cool. As I do with a lot of things, one-off deals, I'll show them online as like a potential product, as something I might make. I won't make it the same, but I'll make something else for you, maybe custom. And I use that as a listing. Well, I posted a listing. The guy got the skillet. He loved it. He said, hey, this is great, right? And then he said, can I have 12 more? Because he was going to give them out to his friends and his family for Christmas time. And that got me down the road of making skillets. Well, flash forward a little bit, it took about 6 to 8 months or so for it to really grow, but I was starting to take and push out anywhere from about 10 to 24 skillets a month. That's how many skillets I was making and selling on the regular. And I ended up quitting doing skillets because I got tired of making skillets. I'm one of those type of guys, I like to have variety in my work. And I felt like it was taking over the majority of everything I was doing in the shop, and I didn't like that. So I ended up making a higher quality skillet, really making them really nice. I made up dies for the press and did all this stuff to really manufacture these things, but then it got boring to me. And then really high quality skillet, I was getting swamped with orders, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with these. They're a great thing, but I had other stuff I wanted to do. And at that time, I was also pushing about 1,000 bowl orders, 1,000 copper bowls and vessels a year. So not only was I had that on my plate, but then I had 24 skillets a month to do. And the copper was paying way more than what the skillets were at that time. So, you know, I had to let that portion of the business go that way. I just wanted to. So that's my story on making skillets. And man, let me tell you, God, I wish I would have had a CNC bed then, or had the option for one back then. But this was before Langmuir was ever a thing, which is the CNC bed that I bought. Because the nearest CNC bed for me would have been $20,000, and it was like, that's not happening. So hand cutting out every skillet blank, and then after, because you know it'll cut everywhere you wibble and wobble, and then having to grind that smooth, and man, that took some work. Took a long time. So yeah, go ahead. The thickness on the skillets are 1/8 inch thick, or 10 gauge. It's somewhere in there. You can go for 1/8 inch, and they'll give you 10 gauge sometimes. You go for 10 gauge, they give you 1/8 inch, so they're really close together. But yeah, that's the thickness there. Let's go to camera number 2, Jess. And I'll answer whatever other questions you got going on there, if I need to.
Bill Wool says, I want a skillet just small enough to make an egg the size of an English muffin to make my own breakfast sandwiches. The 8-incher would be pretty close for that. Also, you could just do a metal ring that's seasoned as well. We did a job once where Roy made metal rings for a restaurant that was used exactly for that purpose. It's like a Japanese style restaurant.
Yep. That was a very lucrative job, that one was.
Also, thank you, Aimless Adventure, for the happy poo emoji. And Coffee's Forge, thank you for the super chat. Says, have a great weekend, Roy and Jess.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Coffee. God bless you, sir. Thank you for that, and thank you for the happy poo emoji. Aimless. Boy, the quality of the characters of the people that come into this place, I tell you, they're all excellent. All right, I'll check this against my thing. The thing. Better. Okay, that's looking good. That's almost there. Check it, different fits. Yeah, that's better that way. All right. Can they see that okay? Were they able to see that? I'm sorry. I'm ignoring the camera, and hopefully they can see that. I need to be more mindful of the camera, how things are fitting up. So now I just keep drifting that square until it gets on there. It's end up hitting on this one side, so I need to drift that side a bit more, is what I need to do as we go.
You ready for a question? I got one for you.
Yeah, questions are good.
CU Metal says, he says, do you pickle the skillets once finished or season them? Which is best?
You do both. So you have to pickle them and season them if you want to sell a seasoned skillet. You can sell a raw skillet because sometimes people prefer to actually buy a raw skillet so they can season it themselves. Sometimes that's actually more advantageous to do, to have them do it themselves, especially if they have food allergies. You got to be kind of conscientious of that if people have food allergies. My thing, I always like to use coconut oil to season my skillets. It worked out really nice for me. But I would write that up in the listing, and then on occasion, I would have somebody who was allergic to coconut oil. I had that posted in the listing, and they say, hey, can you not season it with coconut oil? And they gave me their oil of choice to season it with. Pickling the skillet helps to remove all of the hard iron oxide scale from the factory. And that, before you season the skillet, is necessary, because if you don't remove all that hard scale, when you go to season the skillet, that scale can pop off later on, and it'll flake off along with your seasoning, and it'll leave bare metal. So you don't want to do that. Good questions. Good questions.
We had another poop emoji sticker from Gordon Farmer, and also Aimless Adventure $20 super chat, who says, yay, happy poo. Sorry, I've missed so much work. It's been hectic. Retirement is close, just 40 more years.
Just 40 more years. You're getting close. You're getting close. You're almost there. Oh, got to be encouraging around here, you know?
Thank you, Black Collar Ironworks, for the super chat. He says, Leroy Adams, I'm back.
Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you for being back. Glad to have you here.
Gerald Silkworth says, how do you pickle?
Just simple. The way I did it, 1000% honest. Turkey burner. Got a turkey burner with a stock pot, and use cleaning vinegar. Stick them in there, pile them up thick, and the scale will be gone in about 2 hours of all of your pieces boiled off. The other way is you can cold pickle them in vinegar overnight or for a couple days, 2-3 days if you have time, and that'll eat the scale away as well. I try to avoid using harsh chemicals for removing scale, because this is going to be used in food later on. So not so good to put unhealthy chemicals on things that people are going to be shoving in their face holes later on. Oh, let's go to the anvil, Jess. All right. All right, over here at the anvil. Come on, get this stuck through here again. Doodly-doo.
Nobleborn wants to ask if you use a rounded or a sharp/square hammer.
I usually use a cross peen hammer. What I'm using right now is a soft face hammer meant to hit tooling. But my hammer of choice is a cross peen hammer. So this is my hammer I use. It's got a slight crown to center, almost imperceivable to the naked eye. Really nice relieved edges, and a big broad flat peen. Oh, that's my hammer of choice.
Metal Blueberry says, can you leave metal in vinegar too long to soak?
Can you leave metal where?
Too long in vinegar?
Nope. Not really. I suppose if you left it in there for like 7 months or something like that, you might have problems. But for the most part, you're not going to have those issues. Yeah, that's going to work out perfect. Next time I get that, that's going to go perfect. Let's go here. All right. I'm being a bad presenter this evening. Yeah, so that's going to go on nicely. I just got to open up this bottom end now. And then that should slip basically right on up the piece. Okay.
Granddad says, Roy, you got to have a swedge block around there that'll work for that drift.
I do, but it's nowhere near the camera. Actually, thank you, Granddad. I just pulled this out. I've been reorganizing the shop here recently. Man, you are excellent, sir. You show that to the camera, number 2? Can they see it? Yep. There you go. Bolster plate. Granddad, genius, period. Don't let anybody tell you any different, sir. We can go back to the main cam, we're fine. What's going on, beautiful?
Finding the next question for you. We have Benjamin K. Wallace. How long did it take you to reach the point where you stop on a project where you know it's not going to work versus keep working on thinking that you can fix it when it really can't be fixed? So basically, when do you call it quits?
The bane of every blacksmith's existence is figuring out how many hammer blows is too many hammer blows. I would say I'm getting better at it, but I'm a work in progress. I would say it probably took me a good at least 5 or 6 years before I got that put into me, to not really instilled in me. It's kind of different a little bit. See, I'm a professional blacksmith. No, I'm not just a YouTubing blacksmith. I do YouTube as a side item. Sometimes it feels like my main item that I do because I do a lot of it and I've incorporated it into my business quite a bit. But I am a professional blacksmith. So part of being a professional blacksmith is knowing when you're running uphill. Because as you're running uphill, you're getting paid less. So you have to make those judgment calls a lot, or at least I do. So I may be doing something, it's going along swimmingly, and then all of a sudden I put a big ding in it that's not supposed to be there. My mind instantly goes to how many hours or minutes do I have into this piece, and is it worth correcting or fixing my mistakes on that, or will I do better by starting again? And a lot of times it just comes down to time frame on a job. If I've got 60 hours into a piece, if there's a small little mistake, I'm going to do everything I can to fix that small little that small little mistake, because the economy of scale here, right? Time of scale. You would not want to throw away 60 hours of work for a 2-hour job to fix it. So in that sense, it makes sense to go ahead and fix that little 2-hour mistake and get it corrected. When it comes to hammer blows and stuff, that is just more of your own hand-eye coordination of knowing when you've smoothed the surface enough and you're not just overdrawing it or overworking it. And that just takes time, 6-7 years or so. When you do it for a profession, I will tell you things get more serious, I would say. Things get a lot more serious and you're a lot more conscientious about your time and time management in the shop. So there is a whole, let me put it this way. There's a whole lot of stuff in my scrap that has a ton of time into it, but it wasn't any good. It was unsellable for the client or whatever, and so it got chucked in the scrap bin and start again, even if it had 60 hours into it. So that's just a process of time. We can go to camera number 2, Jeff. That's why I like to tell people, new beginners that are learning from me, is, don't sit there and sweat it if you mess something up. Like, it's just not worth the time sweating about, oh, I cut that off at the wrong spot or whatever. Just do yourself a favor and do something else. Go ahead, cut it off, start again. Don't waste time sitting there stressing over the fact that you didn't do something quite right or whatever. It's a waste of time. You're learning and you're going to do it anyhow. I know people, and I used to do this myself. If something happened wrong in the workshop, if something happened wrong, not the way I expected it to go in the workshop, I would just I would lose all faith in myself for the day. I'm like, oh, I can't work anymore. I can't do this. Oh, I'm such a failure. I'm a screw up. I'm this, I'm that. And a mentor of mine told me, Raymond Sim, he told me, don't worry, Roy, they make more. And what he's referencing is, don't worry about making up some steel. Get this hot one more time, Jess. Don't worry about messing up the piece of steel. They make more of it. So, and for whatever reason, that just kind of stuck with me. I needed somebody to tell me, like, stop whining about it. Just cut it off and go again. Start again. Don't even think. If I make a mistake and you guys see me make a mistake in the forge, in the shop here, whether it be live or something like that, I will literally whop and go again. I'll point it out just for camera's sake, but I really don't need to. In my regular day, there's all sorts of pieces that get cut off and are laying on the floor right now. It's just you just don't worry about it. It's like, oh, that was a little long, or I drew out that tenon too thin, or whatever. You're just like, oh, well, that's a wasted piece of metal. Cut it off. You give it no thought process in your mind, and you just continue right along. Right along your merry little way. Good question. Good question. Leads into kind of a side rant, huh? How about that? She's reading and giving me nothing to go off of here.
Sorry, I was trying to pull the question back up. I believe it was Colton had asked, where do you get a soft face hammer from? Can you turn a regular hammer into a soft face hammer, or do you have to buy it separately?
Great question. You can turn a regular hammer into a soft face hammer. That's my least preferred method. My most preferred method is just get you a chunk of mild steel and pop a hole in it and shove a handle through it. That's the easiest way to make a soft face hammer. There are mallets, like you can get brass mallets and things like that you can use as a soft face hammer, and those work out pretty well. They do deform quite a bit, so they won't last as long as a mild steel hammer, but they do have quite a bit of density to them, so that really helps out in that department. So I would suggest you to do that. If you soften the faces of a high carbon steel hammer, how do you know that the steel they used is not air hardening or some other weird alloy that doesn't like that? You can build stresses into the face, and then it's, if you didn't specifically make the hammer to have soft faces, you really can't tell. So if you buy something from Harbor Freight, so to speak, a hammer, and you blew the faces out on it, it may crack in half. You don't know what material they used or what type of stresses those hammers are under or have went under. So when you start heating stuff up and then hitting things with them after, weird stuff starts to happen. So just be very careful if you go down that route. Just be real cautious on that. We good? Questions?
Yes. Clomo says, at what point do minor errors go from adding a rustic charm to a piece actually being an error?
That'll be a good one. Let me get into that one. That's a great question. We can do a little Roy rant there. If anybody likes those.
Oh, yes, they've been asking already.
They've been asking for those already. Let's go to camera 2, Jess. Think about that. All right, so let me continue on this part, and then I'll get into the kind of the rant moment here in just a moment. I gotta flip this around. I think that is hot enough and big enough. Slip up on there now. Yep, that's basically there. I'm gonna heat this thing up one more time, and I'm gonna drive it down on the vise. So that'll go up most of the way. So that's looking good. Looking good. We'll heat that up one more time, and then we will actually put this in the vise, lock this portion in the vise, and we will drive that on up to the shoulder. And that'll be pretty good. That should be its final fitment. So, all right, set this by the side of the fire to keep it warm for this little ramp. So, all right, back to main cam. Great question. want to answer it in detail here. So what is, so the question was, what constitutes something become a failure or rustic charm, right? Rustic charm is a sales gimmick for failure. Let's just be clear about that, because that's what it is. Any errant hammer blow is exactly that, an errant hammer blow. Decisive texture is something totally different, and it's clearly seen. And I've done a video on this very specifically. It was a Roy Rant video on texture. And I showed two textures. One where I just did garbage work. I threw junk on the anvil top. I did it in a piece of copper. It illustrated it really well. I heat up a piece of copper. I just kind of beat around on it. I didn't really care about it, and I call that texture, right? And then I took the same piece of copper and I added texture to it in a deliberate sort of way. And when you looked at the difference between the two, they are night and day, completely night and day. One looks like a professional quality job, where the other one looks like as if it spent its year out on I-70 or some highway somewhere being ran over by trucks, okay? So there's definitely a difference. When you hear rustic charm or other things like that, a lot of times that is sales gimmicky for poor ironwork. I know it because I've done it before. I've done it before. I've done texture where I just, well, it's a little crooked and stuff, but it's rustic. It's okay, it's rustic. We'll just leave it like that. That was a lack of skill on my part. That was a lack of integrity on my part to pass something like that off. Now, at that point in time, I didn't have the skills and I didn't have the eyes necessarily for the ironwork to chastise myself saying, you know what, Roy, you're not doing a good job here. You could do better. You could add some intentional texture or technique. I didn't know good enough. I didn't know better, basically. But you can cover a multitude of sins with that whole label of saying it's rustic. It's rustic charm. It's just, it's so dang tabulous, right? Because, I get that rant going about artists. That's the problem. Artists, they're on a pipe dream someday and they're busy talking about how they've reinvented the wheel in the world, and, and they bin up a mangled up piece of metal thing and welded it to a piece of iron on a shelf and say it's worth $250 million. No, it's not. It's junk. It's junk. It's not worth $250 million. I don't care what acid trip you were on when you made the thing and it spoke to you. It's not worth that. It's a mangled piece of metal. It doesn't have any of the characteristics of the very things that they quote that it has. Form, function, play on light and shadow, feeling, charm. It doesn't have those things. It's just, it's art, so it's okay. So be real careful of allowing yourself to get down that path. Now, I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to that because I have to be. I am constantly gauging myself for my customer's benefit. I'm gauging what type of product am I proud to put out there and give to that customer. Now, somebody may look at that and say, I could have done better. Somebody may look at that and say, I could never do that. So that brings it down to a personal experience, right? There are some people that are straight out of art school. They never picked up a hand hammer a day in their life other than to take and straighten something off of a power hammer, and they do the classic power hammer texture. And what it is it's just rough forging. That's what they call it. They call it power hammer texture. But all it is just rough forging a piece under a power hammer. They didn't take the extra effort of smoothing out that piece, which would still have a texture to it. No, they just I'll just mangle this under, weld it to a big plate, we'll call it a sculpture, call it art, and live in California. So that's that's their whole MO, if you will. But to me, I believe that is an absolute shame when you look at the cathedrals and you look at the art that was being created 500 years ago, 500 plus years ago, what those guys were doing, And we have so much more available to us to create art in a way that would make them proud of craftsmanship. And we choose to take and make a mangled up piece of junk and sell it for $1 million. So they would roll in their graves, previous craftsmen, because it wasn't even possible back in their day or their time, young whippersnappers making stuff. So that's a little rant. That's kind of, there's some personal feelings. It's not against the commenter at all. You asked a great question. There's a great question. Let's go to camera number 2 while I'm talking here. That is a great question. At what point does it go from being a mistake or in rustic charm? Again, rustic charm is sales speak for bad ironwork. So it just is. Now there are going to be plenty of people who'll disagree. That's perfectly okay. It just would not get it done in my shop. So that's the way that works. What's everybody saying to that? Hating on me now?
Oh, no. Cars Thompson, you tell him. Jeff Daniel says, you tell it, Roy. Granddad says, dill pickle. Yep. Bash Stampede said, not gonna lie, this is very funny. Glad I tuned in.
Awesome. Glad you like it. Oh, let me go ahead and give a little caveat. So this is the part in videos where people have already jumped off and they'll sell me down the road as some sort of elitist or something like that. But since you're here and you're listening in your little audio device, your earbuds or whatever you're doing, I'm going to put one little caveat there. When you are a hobbyist and you are a beginner, you are not contractually obligated to do the best ironwork you can possibly do at all times. Sometimes you just need to forge a nail to hang something up. It doesn't have to come up to some sort of imaginary standard you set for yourself. It's a nail that you're going to whack a fence back together with, right? So it doesn't have to be this perfect example of mastery for that, right? But now if you're going to start selling nails for a living, you need to get good at those at some point. The quality, you need to take pride in the work at some point. And let that shine through your piece and show a clear progression from where you started to where you put in those 10,000 hours to have mastery over that item. You need to show a clear progression, whether that be in your efficiency or overall look, centering up of that nail. Again, if you're going to make a nail, I've seen people stress and absorb so much about making a nail perfectly in the center, and they'll make 100 nails to make one good one out of the batch to nail a board to a wall. Our forefathers didn't do that. They didn't do that. They got good at making nails over time because they put in the work and the effort. So likewise, if you're making knives, if you're making tomahawks, if you're making scroll work, if you're making gates, or if you're making little gifting items that you're giving to people on Christmas, things like that, and you decide to do it as a profession, and you start doing it as a profession, means you're going to be doing professional quality work. And at that point, you have to analyze yourself and your skills and your skill level, and not just be okay with mediocre, and not just label and brand things as rustic or, ooh, that's just shabby chic. No, it's not. It's bad ironwork. Bad ironwork. And people say, oh, there is no such thing. I don't care about the whole flower power movement there. It's bad ironwork. You just stick with it. It's bad ironwork. So when you can't compare it to the masters of the day when you're putting out bad ironwork. So, there is a standard or a quality standard when you start doing things professionally. Does that mean you shouldn't do things professionally until you are some great master smith? No, that doesn't mean that at all. You should do that still. You should get involved, because that's what will help you get those 10,000 hours of practice into that particular thing that you're trying to do. So I'll leave it there. I think that was a good rant. I'll shut up about that. Great question. And it's a great thing to point out, because you're going to see a lot of rustic ironware coming out in the next month. Trust me. You're going to see a bunch of it online. So.
Do we want to take a moment to give something away? We're nearly an hour in.
Holy cow, we are.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. And you're insulting people on the internet. I mean, time flies. When you're tossing around insults like that. No, it's not that bad. All right, that fits out good. That fits up great. I'm gonna set that off to one side. The actual square portion is gonna get filed down a bit more, so I'm leaving it a little tight as it gets up there so I have room to final fit it so it gets up really nice and tight on that shank there. All right. Well, we got that first portion over. Did anybody have any questions about what I was doing there? And I know we had some super chats during my rant.
We did. One was Gordon Farmers funding the rant. And another one from Black Collar Ironworks. If you're enjoying this Roy rant, remember to smash the like button. 4 thumbs up.
Oh, yeah. So I'll put it this way on rants. So my channel has not been shy about doing some rants. We call them rants. Some people like to call them wisdom. Some people like to, but the people who like my opinion, right? Some people will say it's a good opinion and stuff. At the end of the day, people dislike things when you take a strong opinion, one way or the other on something, especially if it differs from their opinion. They think you're being harsh. But it's okay to take a strong opinion. But you also have to keep an open mind. So if somebody wants to argue that out with me, that no, you can just wail around on a piece of steel and it is art, I will probably disagree with you, but go on ahead and do what you like to do. You know, you got to live your life, and in 100 years, your stuff will either still be around or it'll be at a scrapyard somewhere. Same thing with my stuff. I might think my stuff is great, and I die, Jessica auctions it all off, and it goes for pennies on the dollar. So, you know, we don't ever really know on that. So don't take it as a thing where I'm saying it's my way or the highway, or my way is the only right way to do something, or my opinion's the only opinion that matters. There's a lot of opinions out there that matter more than mine. But I will stand by that because I hold myself accountable to a higher standard than even what I can physically do sometimes. So it's just part about being that artist and being a craftsman. And I think in the long run, that's what turns you from just being a hobbyist or just a professional craftsman and turns you into a master craftsman at some point, is because you always hold yourself to a higher standard than what you are personally happy with. So, all right. Want to give something away?
Yeah, let's give something away.
Coffee break, guys and gals, coffee break. So thank you all so much for the super chats. Thank you for hanging out. I hope everybody's, how many people we got in the stream, by the way?
303.
Woohoo! 303. That is amazing. How many did we lose because of Roy's rant?
We were at 280 when the rant started, so
Hey, there we go. That's good. so we're heading in the right direction, huh? We're heading in the right direction. All right, well, let's go ahead and give away an 8-inch skillet. And I'm going to go ahead and give away a spatula kit. So we'll go over to the anvil or the main cam, whichever one's easier. We do the anvil cam so they can see this real quick. Get this out of the way. Bam. Both of these items that we're going to be giving away, I'm going to give them away with these hook tail handles that you put on these. These will also, I don't have them pictured here, but they will come with rivets. So all you have to do is drill it and assemble the actual skillet itself with the rivets. Like so. And or spatula. Like so. And again, you can forge this out. In fact, I actually, I'll show this in my video when I do the demonstration, the actual tutorial. You actually want to forge this out a little bit to break this edge this plasma cut edge. You want to break that down a little bit by just hammering on it a little bit. So this will stretch out a bit more than what it's showing right now. You don't have to do that, but when you texture things and when you forge on this area here to break that edge, this handle is going to get a little longer on you. So just keep that in mind. So we'll start off with the 8-inch skillet bling. How's that sound? Yeah. Sound like a plan? Is everybody excited about that? Oh yeah, they're all coming out with cute little sayings? Okay, so for all the new people that are here, if you haven't ever been here before, the way that we do this, you don't have to get on, we got the main cam. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have to go be over at my Instagram, although you should. You don't have to, sell me your birthright or anything like that. All you have to do is comment something in the comment section down below, and then we just draw one name at random from those comments. We prefer, for things like this, that you leave a phrase, some sort of phrase or some sort of actual comment, and not just be me or beep or whatever, like one word little comments. We prefer phrases if you can. That's really our only preferential treatment is phrases. So that's all you have to do. These will ship anywhere in the world. The anvil tonight, that is only US base only, unfortunately. This is our 10th anvil to give away, and unfortunately the manufacturer doesn't ship worldwide. They just ship America only. So there it is, America. We just have to, unfortunately, I would have liked them if they would have shipped worldwide, but they don't do that. So, and we're having it shipped directly from the manufacturer. So that's the only stipulations there. If you do win, there is a email, right? Yes. Down below that says contact us, right? Am I telling this right? I got to ask her because she's the one who puts it together. You have got to go through that email to get with us. In fact, last stream we had somebody not claim a tongs that we gave away. So it gets recycled. So we don't know if they emailed us through some other weird link or contact page or something like that, or maybe commented on a video or something that we didn't see. Sorry, if you don't go through that email and provide us your email address, name, that sort of stuff, where we send these things to, we can't help you. We just give it away at another live stream. So make sure you follow the rules. That's a simple rule. Comment a phrase, and then go through the email if you win. Okay? Sound good? We're all straight? Yeah. They're wore out now, aren't they?
It slowed down. It was really fast at the beginning.
They're all thumbs. They're taking a break? All right. Now we're going to go draw for it. We're going to be drawing for the 8-inch skillet. Who do we got?
I landed on Stephen Watkins, who says, "Whack me with that skillet."
Hey, Stephen Watkins, congratulations.
That is the 8-inch.
Awesome. Yep, that is the 8-inch hook-tail skillet there. You won that. I guess I can just hold it up here, huh? Yep. Yeah. You won the 8-inch skillet. Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you for that. Set that off the sides. Got to put it on the sides. All right, let's draw for the spatula, shall we? So we show that off again right up here, up nice and tight, so you guys can see that. This will be for the hooktail spatula. We'll draw for that, same thing. Just comment a phrase down in the comment section, and we will ring the anvil. When it stops, we draw. Who do we got?
I landed on Wayne Heights, who said, "Good luck all."
Hey, Wayne Hines. Congratulations, Wayne. You won this spatula set. So thank you for being here, Wayne. Thank you, everybody. We'll set that there. We still have a 10-inch skillet to give away, and we do have a ladle to give away, along with some sticker packs as well. And then finally the anvil, so we'll be doing that. Well, let's give away a few sticker packs while we're at it. So I'll pull these out. Go to camera number 2, Jess. So we have the classic sticker bundle. We have this. These were all provided for us by Dana Maggiore. So thank you, Dana. We will be giving away a smaller sticker like this. The coveted Year of the Anvil sticker that is a limited time. It's only for this year only. And then some much bigger logos. So this way you can go ahead and broadcast how great Christ-centered Ironworks is all over the world. Well, in your shop at least, or at your place of work. So we go back to main cam. So we're gonna give away, let's go ahead and give away like 2 or 3 of these, Jessica, while we're at it. Say you guys came for a live stream, some of you came for the giveaways. See, we honor what we say, huh? Ready? You set? Are they ready? Okay, let's do it. Who do we got?
We have Keith Whatever, who says, sticker me please.
Keith Whatever, sticker you got. Congratulations. Congratulations. So there's 1 sticker pack given away. All right, we ready to draw another name at random?
Yes, we are.
Let's go. Who do we got?
This one is going to Christopher Fay, who says stickers.
Woohoo! Christopher Fay. Christopher Fay, congratulations. You won some stickers. Again, get through the contact email below and send us your information so we can ship these to you. You're good to go. And ready? One more? Sure. Set? Go. Who do we got?
This one is going to Acre Adam, who says, stick it to me with them stickers.
Haha, stick it to me with them stickers. Acre Adam?
Yep.
Congratulations, you got some stickers there. We'll be giving some more of those away here in a little bit. Just set those down there. I would also like to take this time to thank everybody who's become a channel member here recently. We had about 30 members. I don't know if anybody new has joined recently this stream. Not that you've seen? Okay, that's all right. So we have 30 members in our channel memberships as of right now, which is awesome. I've got a wood burning kit on the way so I can burn the names into the membership wall. If you'd like to become part of that, you can click the join button, the join link right by the face, my funny little face icon on the channel. You can go to the home page of Christ-centered Ironworks, or I believe it's down below. They can click on it. If you're watching on mobile, you'll see my face. If you exit live chat, you'll see my face and you'll see join, and it's written in blue right by it. You can click on that and join, and there's a lot of great exclusive perks along that way. Main perks of those are, 1, you get involved in the membership wall, so you get to be there as part of Roy's great mental health. I can look at all those names when I'm having a bad day and say, all these people are behind me, you know, which is just awesome to do myself. But the other perks that we have set up there, you get some of those funky little name badges that you see people got. You got some really cool custom emojis and things like that that you can use in live streams as well. And then one other thing that we did, we just recently added, we added discounts. So I'm in the process of drawing up in CAD quite a few tools for blacksmiths. Just hook jigs and different things like that, some scrolling jigs and whatnot to take and be cut out on my plasma bed. So that'll be coming hopefully in the new year. I'll have everything figured out. I have to work through some kinks and make sure that what I'm selling is going to be great and easy to put together. And so there'll be some like tooling kit type things where you can kind of build your own hook jig type deal. Hopefully. Let's hope on that. But if you are a channel member, you actually get a big discount. So you get big discounts on anything over there. That's one of the perks that I figured was worthwhile adding. So I believe at the Bellows Boy tier, there's 10% off any blanks or I forget what it is on Power Hammer plans and things like that. Yeah, any digital downloads and blanks or blacksmith tooling I'll be selling in the future, you'll get 10% off. On those, and that just increases with the tier amount as well. So, and I think all the way up at the level of Golden Master Smith, which I don't think we'll ever see a Golden Master Smith in there, but you know, we'll see. But they get like 100% off all digital downloads, and they get, I believe, 40% off any tools that I end up selling. So. Once I actually have some tools that are worthwhile to people, if people are interested in them, that might actually become a good value proposition that way. But we'll see. We will see. I'm trying to think of how I can make that great for people and do that. The regular content on the channel stays and remains free for everyone. I'm putting that out there to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who joined. Thank you to all the people who do the super chatting. That is what helps us give away stuff like this. And it allows us to fund this. So be prepared to see a lot more of this type stuff, blinks and things, in the giveaways, because I can do it now and I don't have to pay a lot of money to, I just have to work and spend materials and other stuff. So there's a different type of investment, but I don't have to buy something, have it shipped in, turn around, then sell it to you. You can get it just direct from me and you know that I made it, and I think that's kind of a cool thing. So for giveaway items. I don't know, what do they think? I can't see.
Yes, we do. You can see what's going on. They are sharing around the custom emojis. So the custom emojis, like the flaming hammers and stuff like that. Couple of super chats came in right before the giveaway started, so I didn't get a chance on those. Ward Tree Ironworks, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, Roy, thank you for your advice. You don't sound elitist.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. So.
Also another super chat from Timothy O'Clair. And no comment with his, but thank you very much, Timothy.
Thank you, Timothy.
And lastly, we had Black Collar Ironworks join as a bellows boy.
Woohoo! Everybody give Black Collar Ironworks a hand and a round of applause for becoming a bellows boy. Awesome. Awesome possum. All right, I got to start getting some stuff set up here. But to keep taking more things, keep this party rolling. Coffee. Good. Any other questions, comments?
What type of borax are you using?
Great question. I'm using a commercial form of anhydrous borax. So it's a commercial form. I actually got this from Jamie Geyer of Blacksmithing in Goshen. Some of you will see him every now and then show up on some of the streams. He's actually where I'll be teaching a skillet making class at the end of November, or the weekend right after Thanksgiving. I'll be teaching a skillet making class on how to actually make hand-forged skillets. And he's in Goshen, Ohio. That's just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I think there's like 4 spots left in that class. So we're almost full, which is cool. But anyways, sorry, long story short, he's a great guy and he bought this stuff. He got a good hookup on it and he ended up getting me some of it. He actually just recently asked me, he's like, oh, I just got another 50-pound bag of it. You know, do you need anything? I'm like, no, I haven't even touched, haven't barely touched, because I do fluxless welding. So I haven't barely touched the can that he's got. But when we go to camera number 2 here, I'll show a little bit of it. I don't know if they can see this, okay? But it's more of a granulated type borax. It's not a powder. It's more like a coarse ground salt. And it really works out really well. But it's a commercial grade anhydrous, so it's pretty high quality. Borax. It's really good for forge welding. If you use it sparingly, it's great. If not, it picks up a bunch of dirt and it inhibits your welds. So don't drown your welds. Of course, people have been around the channel long enough, they've seen me do that for a while. So they've heard me say all sorts of things about that. Great question. Anything else before I get started here? No, we're good. All right, so let's go to camera number 2, and we'll kind of walk everybody through the process. So in here, as I tried to illustrate, tried to show, there's a big crack right here. And maybe I bring it up here. I think I bring it up here. I'm going to refocus for a second. Can everybody see that?
Yes, that's better. Yeah, a lot better.
Can everybody see that crack in there? So there's a big crack right across there that I filed. Went ahead and filed that. But it goes all the way across. It's kind of hard because it's shadowing a little bit there. There they can see it. Right there. So what we're going to do here is we need to get some brass in here to stabilize that crack. So this way it acts as one piece. You could obviously electrically arc weld this, but that wasn't really a problem, that wasn't really a possibility in the 15th century. So what they would use is brazing. They would use forge brazing to actually braze that shut if they needed to. It's either that or they'd throw this whole thing away, well, they wouldn't throw it away. They'd repurpose it into something else, and then, you know, they just start again if it was really critical for a customer or client. We really don't need that much brass to do this. As you can see, I've got this small little chip of brass, and that's going to go right in there. Okay, we're going to set that right in there. I took a much larger brass bar. It doesn't matter what type of brass you're using. I took a much larger brass bar and I whacked on it until it fractured, until it work hardened and fractured. And then I had this little piece here that came off of that, and that's what we'll actually use as the brazing medium. We will also need a catch plate. So the brass does not just run straight through the joint and drip off on the floor. So we need to wire this catch plate to the back side of this, as you can see there. Hopefully they can see that fine, right? Can they see that good? So we actually need to take some wire, some lacing wire, and wire this to this frame. Now what that's going to do is that's going to allow the brass to stay where we put it and for it to fill that void or that cavity. The other thing it's going to do for us is the negative thing, and it's going to basically braze that piece onto the side here, which then we'll have to file away. We'll have to file that thing completely clean off later. But that's what we are doing. So I will zoom my focus back out here, hopefully. Does that look in focus? Let me just double check it. Yeah, that should be in focus. Good. So you can do this for all sorts of things. Say if you want to add a piece to something, a chunk. Let me look here, where did I put it? There we go. Like in this case, I added a chunk, a little piece on top. Can they see that there, honey, okay? Yes. Okay, I added a small piece as a tester on top of this piece. So say you needed a catch on a sliding bolt or something for a door, for a gate latch or something. And instead of having to forge this out and make a little step or file it or whatever to create this catch, I can actually just lay another piece of steel on top, braze it on, and now it acts perfectly as a catch. But there's one trick to this. Once you braze something, this metal becomes embrittled. The brass actually interacts with that surface, and it makes this, it interacts with the pores in the steel, and it actually makes the material become brittle afterwards. So once you've brazed something, you're not going to be able to heat this up and bend it. One, it'll pop loose there. Two, it'll break. Literally, the metal itself will break because you kind of alloyed brass with the steel at that point, and it can't. It removes its malleability. So you have to make sure that you basically have a finished part that you're then adding the brass or your parts to, and it's all file work from there on out. You can't bend this or hammer on this afterwards. If you do, you'll break stuff. So that's one downside to brazing stuff in general or in the forge. All right, any questions on that real quick before we move on?
No, not that. Less super chats and a new member.
Awesome, thank you guys so much. A hand clap. You want to answer those real quick? And
Sure. Aimless Adventure says, gotta run, love you guys, be well and safe, LP and CG.
thank you, thank you. God bless you, Aimless. Love you too.
Our new member is Jesse Garza, who joined as a Bellows boy.
Woohoo. You said Jesse?
Yep, Jesse Garcia.
Jesse Garcia, thank you so much. Garza? Garza, Jesse Garza. Thank you so much.
And lastly, the orange super chat was from Rusty Hubcap, who says, just a quick howdy. Can't stay. Y'all have a great weekend.
Hey, Rusty Hubcap. Thank you for stopping by, Alan. Appreciate you, brother. You have a great weekend as well. All right, we good? Okay, we're moving on. So let's go to camera number 2. Again, hopefully they can see me working on this process, and it's good enough. I tell you, the way to watch our live streams, if you can, is on a big screen TV, or on a TV, if you will, because stuff that I'm doing here is just so much bigger, and you can see a lot more detail that way. So now we need to wire this on. We're gonna go ahead and wire it across here. I've got a bit of lacing wire. This is just fence lacing wire. It can be anything. It needs to be uncoated wire, preferably. So this doesn't need to be, you don't want this to be zinc coated or anything like that. You want it to be bare steel wire. If you don't have that, you have to go to a lacing wire for like a fencing supply store. You can do that at Tractor Supply or something like that. They should have this. This came on a spool, and then I just kind of shaped it square like this to the underside that I was going to be picking up. So I'm going to lay my piece on where I need it. I'm going to slip my lacing wire around the piece, keeping it nice and tight. And then I'm going to cross these over. And you may choose to wrap this once or twice as well. That choice is yours. But you want to wrap it around once or twice. The big important thing is you want to keep it out of the way of the braze joint. You want to keep it out of the way of the braze joint. So it needs to be just off to one side of it. And this is a little fidgety to do on camera. Usually I'd have this in the vise or something like that. But then we're going to take this piece with a pair of dikes here, or pliers, well, and we're just going to tighten that wire right up. Don't go crazy with tightening these wires. You don't want to go overboard there because they'll end up breaking. So that'll have that caught right there. Can they see that okay? Decent? Sorry. I know it's a little warbly and everything else. So now I'm going to go ahead and lace it in a separate spot. Tighten that up like that. Grab it with my pliers. I'm going to tighten it down. Again, you don't have to go crazy. We're not trying to secure the Titanic. Again, the main point is just to capture the brass on here. So once we got those on there good, now we're going to go into the fire with that. So we're actually going to go into the fire, and we're just going to set this on top of the fire and let it come up slow. You don't really want to cover this. You want to take and just set it on top of the fire and let it come up slow to heat. If you tuck it down, you'll melt off these little wires. They'll just disappear on you. So you don't want to tuck it down. You just want to set it on the fire and let it come up slow like that. So we'll go ahead and put that in the fire now.
Vash Stampede said, so he's basically making a metal patch for the crack on the metal.
A very astute observation. Yes, yes indeed. All right.
Clomo says a metal band-aid.
Now there's all sorts of stuff that can go wrong here. Your piece could fall off, the wires could melt in advance. When I did this, I was basically soldering bits of keys with Tom Latney into like the tube stock for a tube key, like an old skeleton key. So I was working with Tom Latney at the time making keys for locks. And the way we did it, I mean, we wrapped that thing with wire, and a good amount of it, to make sure that it stayed on while we were brazing the bits of the key onto the actual shafts or shanks of the key. And so it took a while. It takes a while to do this. This is it's not a fast process by any means. But when it is done, it's really cool that you can just take two pieces of steel, and without welding them or doing some other crazy thing, you can actually just bloop, put them together, braze all sorts of weirdness onto other weirdness. And then the only thing you have to do later on is file it off, or scrape it clean to get a clean joint, and you're good to go, which is really neat.
Violet Springs Forge says pencil lead will keep the brass from sticking to the catch plate.
Pencil lead, huh? Graphite. That's what he's going for there. All right, never heard of using that method before. when I was working with Tom, you know, the wires would get stuck. They get all inundated with the brass as well. And it was just real easy to just hit and skiff a file across it and they'd be gone. So when it comes to that, I might try the graphite one. Might try that at some point. That's very valid. I'll have to see how it goes. So for this, we're gonna bring this up to heat slowly. And we're gonna bring it up to like a red heat or so. And then once it's at that red heat, we're gonna throw a little bit of flux on it at that point. So it's gonna be a bright red, maybe starting to be an orange in color. We're gonna throw some flux on it and that's gonna start eating away at any scale material that's in our crack. And that's what we need it to do, to act as a cleaning agent. That will also add the extra catalyst we need, or capillary action that we need, not catalyst, excuse me. It'll add the capillary action that we need to draw the brass through the joint, which is important. All right, well, while that heats, I'm gonna move camera number 2 and I'll take some questions, Jess.
All right, sounds good. Firstly, we have a new member, and that is Keith Whatever has joined as a bellows boy.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith.
And also Black Collar Ironworks sent a super chat. It says, Borax the metal glue, heart bro, laughy face.
Borax the metal glue.
And Justin Ray sent a $5 super chat to contribution for your kilt fund.
Tom, thank you. Thank you very much. That's as close as I can get it there, so hopefully people can see it. You see that okay, Jess, on your end?
Yeah, that looks good. See bits of the wire and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, everyone can see that okay. All right, starting to get to that orange. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for becoming a bellows boy, Keith. Whatever. Greatly appreciate that.
Justin Leavitt says, got my sticker pack today. God bless you guys. Greeting from Williston, Vermont. I'm a gunsmith by day, a knifesmith by night. Love you guys and thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, I want to turn off the air so this way the flame's not coming up and biting my hands so much. We'll let that calm down a little bit so it's not so revved up as you see it there. You see how that flame dies right down. It's good, so we don't have to roast off our little hands here. We're going to throw on some flux on that joint. Now, since I'm having to just chuck that on there, that's more flux than what you really need to actually put on there. I'm just throwing it on just so I can get it there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of brass. I'm going to get that piece of brass I showed earlier in a pair of tongs. You got camera 2? Oop, just dropped it. Oh, come on now. Really? I'll pay for that later. I'll have to dig that out later. I just dropped it. All right. Give me a second. Let me grab another chunk here. Yeah. Technical malfunctions. Okay. So now, grab another pair of tongs. All right, can they see okay? All right, so now I'm going to add that bit of brass that I need into the piece. Hopefully I can keep that staying put. I'm going to turn back on my fire. Can they see that okay?
Yes. Yeah, it's getting a little dark.
Okay, so I've got my brass laying where I want it to go. I'm turning back on my heat. I'm going to grab a little bit more flux here in a second. Once it comes back up to heat, I'm going to throw it on there to help that brass melt. By fluxing it with some acid, which is basically boric acid or borax, by fluxing it, it lowers the melting point a little bit of that brass, of the steel and the brass, and it kind of combines it together. It helps them go at one another. So I'll throw that on there, hopefully. It looks like it's falling out. It just fell in the fire, didn't it? It fell off into the fire. Go figure.
Wonderboy Projects ask if you could use solder instead of brass.
Solder, silver solder, you could probably use it. It won't go. Yeah, I got to break off another little chunk here. You could use silver solder instead of brass. But it won't be as strong of a joint as what brass will be. This time I'm just going to set the brass on top of the piece. There's enough flux there that it should drag it right down and in. As you can see, hopefully they can see that I dropped it on top of the base.
We could always put the dynamium glasses in front of the camera lens.
We could, huh? Is it too much sodium flare? Did they see did they see it melting? See the green flame go? The brass is melting on the surface. Yeah, would have been better without that. That brass went. I'm going to add a little extra brass just for class. Just 'cause. We want it to go extra. Extra. Yeah, well, it's just a little file work is all.
David Walker says Roy's losing his brass tonight.
Just losing a little bit of it at a time. You want to get it hot, but you don't want to get it so hot. There the brass goes. Down it goes. There we go. I gotta get my tongs. All right, and we gotta remove it from the fire because we don't want it to go any further. If you leave it in the fire, what'll happen is it'll just drip off. It'll just keep falling out of the thing. So once it's hot enough where it's been fixed, you wanna pull it from the fire. So I'll come over here to the anvil. You can go to camera 1. Pro tip here, don't set this on anything you don't want brass to end up getting stuck to a little bit or dirtying something up. So you have to let it cool down enough for that brass to solidify before you can start setting it down on things. Usually you just set it by the side of the fire, which we'll probably do. Hopefully everybody can see that okay. They see how that went? Yeah.
If you take it back over by the other key.
Okay, here, I can take up the brightness a bit. Okay, so.
Yeah, it kind of has a goldish look where the brass is.
Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is live. Can they see that okay? You see how the brass is? So that brass has repaired our crack. And it's also secured our block on there. So there you have it there. All right, go back to the main cam. So now that brass has solidified, now we can set it down on our anvil. Again, you don't want to do that until the brass is solidified.
Robert Snell says, if that's all you have to do, do you think aluminum would have a similar effect?
I don't think aluminum would. As far as I know, that's Not sure. I'll say I'm not sure on that. I know you can braze with bronze. I know you can braze with brass. And I know you can braze with copper. I don't know about aluminum. It being a different element, I don't know if you can actually braze with that. I personally wouldn't try. I think that the heat temperature, aluminum melts at such a low temp comparatively to these, I don't think it'd have the same effect. I think it would probably just fall off. The pores of the steel have got to get opened up. They have to get hot enough to accept the flow of the brass into the pores of the steel. So I'm not sure aluminum would get there. You could try. It could be an interesting experiment nonetheless. All right, I'll move my camera back here.
Acre Adam says, if metal were at welding heat, could you do this at the anvil?
Metal was at a welding heat. Could you do this at the anvil? Brazing? Well, the brass itself has got to get up to temp. So I don't think that would work out very well there, because even though your steel is up to temp, that brass has got to get up to temp. That's the key. The brass has got to make it there. It's not just the steel. So they both have to meet at the same temperature band, if that makes sense. They both have to meet in the middle. So the brass has got to come up, the steel has to cool back down to the right thing, and it would be a delicate balancing act for sure to get those to go just right. I would say that even though you could try some of this stuff, there are things that are tried and true methods that have worked for centuries and are the staple for a reason. Because although you may be able to, it may not be worth trying just because someone else figured out a long time ago that there was a big mess to have to try to do that. So, brazing with copper, brass, or bronze has been around for a long time. Long time, since almost the dawn of time. So I would say keep it simple and keep it to methods, even if they be archaic, that have worked for centuries and centuries. That would be my suggestion on that. Doesn't mean it's wrong to try. You can try, certainly. And if you do try, make sure to message me and send me your results. I would find it interesting. I think the whole community would.
Party Chief says, I just use an oxygen torch for brazing and hold a brass rod like a TIG weld.
Yep. You can do the same. Yeah, you can do that. That's the perfectly valid method of doing that. I'm just simply showing how you can do it in your forge at home. You can even do this in your gas forge. You got a gas forge, you can load this thing up and go to town with it like that. It's a lot easier with a torch for sure. And it's less messy. This, you can get more brass on it than what you need, as where if you hold a torch and you've got a bit of brass brazing rod or whatever, and you're just kind of bloop, bloop, and it's done, it's the way to go. It's a lot easier, a lot more economical, and you can be more pinpoint about where you're adding the stuff to. Versus when you're in the forge, you do, it's a broad heat, so it's going to run everywhere, and then you have to file all that back off. So it's definitely not as good of a process, but this one you don't require any other additional tooling. You just need some brass. You can buy whatever you want, some sheet brass, some bar stock brass, anything, any type of brass. Just need some of that. A little bit of flux that you probably already have in your shop, and heat. That's it, that you already have in your shop, assuming that you're a blacksmith and you have heat. So, which is pretty advantageous, not to have any special torches or anything weird like that you may need that they can have. So,
Cars Thompson asks, if you used a stainless steel as a back piece, would the brass stick to it?
Not sure. I don't know the answer to that question. That would be another interesting experiment to find out. I doubt the stainless. Given the fact that stainless has chromium in it and some other alloying elements, I don't think that it would stick because that's oftentimes used in, say, canister Damascus or whatever, people forging, they use stainless, because it's just off just by that much that it allows it not to stick to the piece that's being welded. So I think that could be a valid method as well. Again, 1400 AD or BC, they wouldn't have had that. They wouldn't have had stainless steel available to them. So yeah, modern methods could definitely work. And obviously, the easiest method, arc weld this sucker. Just put a weld bead across there, file it clean with a die grinder, and no one will ever know any of the wiser. It'll look just like steel. This is being honest about a problem. So we'll break off our wires here. Can they see that? Let's go back to camera number 2. But really great people come out with some really great things tonight, huh? So now we're just going to break these off, these wires off, if we can. That's got so much brazing rod on there, that's not going to come off. That's broken. Sometimes you get lucky and the wires pull free, but most of the time not. They just stay on there and you have to file them off. So there you go. We've made a Band-Aid for our boo-boo. So put on there. And it looks terrible. It looks terrible, but that's how they all look when you're forge brazing. So it will look terrible, but that's how you get it to fix. What you're doing there. It definitely filled the crack, so I'm happy about that. And now what's next for this piece is this has just got to be put in pickle. So I put it in vinegar, and I will go ahead and let that sit for a few days or so in some cold vinegar, and it'll eat away at all the excess flux and all that junk. It'll get rid of all that garbage, and it will leave me with nothing but the brass and clean metal to file and clean up. So that's the next process for that particular piece. So we'll set that off to the side so it's out of the way of the anvil. Questions, Jess?
Let's see here. Daniel Gray, he said, "What did I miss? A lot." You'll have to zoom back over it.
We haven't quit yet, so you might just be right in time for that part.
Let's see. We might have answered this one already. CU metals, could you use a blowtorch to melt the brass, or isn't it hot enough?
Yeah, you can use a torch. You can use a torch, and that's a cleaner method of brazing. But it's also a more modern method. Sorry, having trouble speaking today, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having problems with speech.
Eric asked if it could be done at the vise.
Which part? The brazing? Yes, if you had a torch. That's the only way you're going to do that, is at the vise. Because I wouldn't chance ruining my anvil top for that.
And Heath French asked what would be a good touch mark for a starting out blacksmith.
Yeah, well, whatever you can come up with. There's a lot of impression art stamps out there that you could take and get. I would say that would be a great starting place. Something that has maybe a composite type where you might stamp it with 3 different symbols that mean something to you, or something like that. Do that as a touch mark. Again, mine being Christ-centered Ironworks, it was real easy for me. I just got a cross, a basic cross as my earlier touch mark, an impression mark. Now I've made my own touch marks, so I got that. Mine's a little anvil with a cross in the center of it, and so that's my touch mark now. Touch marks don't have to be super elaborate. Usually when you see super elaborate touch marks, those are not touch marks. Those are hallmarks. Big difference. A touch mark is what would have been reserved for someone who worked on a project, gate, railing, something like that. They worked on a specific piece and they touch mark it. Or somebody inspected that piece or was the head of whatever department of maybe doing the rivet work, and they touch mark the piece to say, yes, I sign off on this, my name's behind this, the rivets are good, the whatever is good. And then you would have several touch marks on a piece, and then you would have the main shop that it came from, and that would have a hallmark. And the hallmark was usually a crest of some kind. They were fairly elaborate. They might have had a coat of arms or something like that, and that's different from a touch mark. So a touch mark is the kind of who's worked on the piece. So say if I had 2 or 3 employees, I would expect 2 or 3 employees all to have their own touch mark. So if they helped work on a piece, they were striking, they helped forge elements in, say, a gate or a table or something like that, they would touch mark the piece, and then I would put the main company hallmark on it that the piece was produced by Christ-Centered Ironworks, LLC. So it would be produced by Christ-Centered Ironworks, but the other people that worked on it, the craftsmanship, would put their individual touch marks on it. That's a little short history on touch mark versus hallmark as I understand it. Now, the books I've read could be completely wrong, and someone in England might know better, but that's all I've got as a Yankee.
Question from Christopher Fay. Can I use house coal for a fireplace on my forge?
House coal? If you can use anthracite, not my favorite coal. You can use bimunimus coal, that'll work. I'm burning coke, which is a byproduct of coal. So there's a short little explanation on that. So yes, you can use home heating coal as a forging coal. It does require you to provide significant airflow to it and keep significant airflow going to it in order for it to not die out. So just keep that in mind. If you've got a hand crank, you're going to wear yourself out with a hand crank. You might want to go with electric blower there. Good questions, good questions. Any super chats I need to address before we move on? No? We're good to go. Good, good. All right.
I will give you a brief update. We are sitting at 6:47 p.m. Eastern Time with, it looks like, 380 current viewers and 131 likes.
Awesome. Well, sounds like there's 150 some odd people that need to get on that like button. Let's want to make that a prerequisite before we give away another skillet. They got to hit that like button. Yeah, we got to have at least 250 likes. And then we'll give away a 10-inch skillet and a ladle set. Doo-doo-doo. Let's see if the like button actually goes. There's going to be a bunch of thumbs down, watch.
Question from Sculpty Works. What about charcoal briquettes? Can those be used?
Charcoal briquettes. The type that you buy, like the Kingsford type stuff, no. Waste of your time. They can't get, they turn to ash and dust. They're not valuable for a good heating source. They can be used, but they're like compressed sawdust, basically. That's what those charcoal briquettes are. And that they don't hold together, and about the time they start making heat, they just turn to ash. And it's a kind of a terrible experience, really. You could mix those in with regular lump charcoal. You could mix those in with some regular lump charcoal, and that will probably make your lump charcoal last a little longer. But then again, you could go to a brush line and grab and snap up some green twigs and leaves and things like that and throw it in a charcoal fire and make heat that way as well. Better than using like a charcoal briquette, if you will.
Tommy Smith says, we used to have a coal mine near where I live. It's gone now. Does anyone know a decent place to buy coke online?
Good question. We bought it from, we bought our coke that I'm burning in my forge from Pie Tool Co. It was to our area, it was a little over $900 shipped total. That was our total price. So it was like 7 something, I think, for a ton. Yeah, for a ton of coke. It was like $700 some odd dollars plus the shipping fee and tax. It brought it up to just a little over $900, just shy of $1,000 out the door cost to get it. Showed up at our house. Guy showed up in a big truck, had a a lift gate on it, lift gate service, lowered it down, and good to go. So.
See, only sitting at 168 likes yet, but we are up from 133, so we're getting there. Also, 168.
There's only 168 likes?
Yes.
How many people we have? You said we had 300, right? Yes. Okay, all right, come on, people. I want to give stuff away.
While we're waiting, question from Wonder Boy. Have you ever made your own charcoal?
Nope, never made my own charcoal. So I have been a coal and coke user for my entire blacksmithing career, except for my apprenticeship that I served with Tom Latney, master locksmith in Pepin, Wisconsin. I did an internship. Shouldn't call it an apprenticeship. I felt it was an apprenticeship because I suck compared to Tom Latney. He's called it an internship instead. So I'll go with his wording. It was an internship. He uses charcoal in his forge. Mainly, he's squeezed in between two other buildings, so he doesn't like the smell of coal, bellowing out and smoking out the local grocer that's right next door to him, things like that. So it smells better. It smells like a barbecue. So he uses the charcoal, and we use some green wood with some charcoal mixed in to kind of make the charcoal stretch because the charcoal burns up a lot quicker. So I spent multiple weeks doing that with him. But that's about it as far as my experience on using charcoal specifically for a heating medium. Yeah.
Graham says in Australia, coal and coke are classified as dangerous goods and the Postal Service won't transport it.
That sucks. What else can I say? Oh, that sucks. So, you got to use what you got to use then. Got to use what you got. Charcoal, sagebrush, lizards, whatever you can feed your fire with. I'm not advocating for you to go out and burn lizards. Just, it was a joke, people. It was a joke. Don't take it seriously. All right, what you looking at? You're just
Yes, I am. Okay, Ben Strickland says, I would love to win a Roy thing. Thanks, Adams.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm not going to wait forever for the likes. If they really don't like the likes if they really don't like the stream that much, and they're not thumping that like button, that means they're probably listening through their headset anyhow. They might not be commenting. They might not be winning the skillet. They may not care. They like, get to the anvil. Get to the anvil, son. Tired of listening to you monkeying on here. Is that what it is? See, I keep looking at her. She's staring so hard at that screen, guys. She's staring. She's so intense. It's hard to read a woman like that when you're looking at the top of her head. There you go. Eye contact. Are you reading my brain? Is my brain reading your brain? Okay, we're good. All right. So let's go ahead and start with the ladle, little hooktail ladle. We're going to give that away. A little kit. All you got to do is comment a little phrase down below. And we will ring this anvil. And when we stop, well, there you go. They've been commenting like crazy. Who do we got?
It looks like we have, oh, the chop's still moving. David Walker, skillet me please.
Well, sorry, David Walker. We're going to ladle you, please. Is that David Walker? Yeah. Congratulations, David Walker. Contact us through the email in the description down below, and we will ship this out to you post haste. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. All right. How many likes?
I have to change pages. 181.
181. That's the way that works, ain't it? You're like, just out of spite, they're like, no, not going to do it. I don't think so. So, all right, so we're going to give away a 10-inch skillet, again, that we make here right in-house. Christ Center Ironworks, now recently, a brand new product I'm offering over at our website, blacksmithpdfs.com. Go check it out. That's my sales pitch. since you don't hit my like button on my videos, I'm going to sales pitch you, so that way you have to go buy things. Yes, it's ominously. Your choice, like or go buy something from me. There's nothing else in life. Just your two options. All right, we're going to give away this 10-inch skillet. Thank you guys for putting up with my nerdiness and weirdness. We're going to give that away, hooktail skillet. And again, for everybody who's getting these, if you get these blanks and you're like, I have no clue, I will be putting out videos this upcoming, not this week, but probably the following week. In the upcoming weeks, I will be putting out several videos on how to make skillets and how to make these individual skillets that I'm doing here. I'll be selling. So that way you'll actually know how to make it yourself. So, that way you're not just stuck with a lame disc of steel and a sharp pointy handle thingy. So, all right, we ready? Set? Are they chatting a lot? Who do we got?
We have Brett Larson who says, soup, soup, soup for life. Soup, 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 no strife.
Brett, you're something else. Well, skillet, get with us in the description. Brett Larson, congratulations. You're the winner of this 10-inch hooktail skillet kit. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the support and all that jazz. We're going to give away another 3 sticker packs. Do that as well. And we're doing pretty good here. I'm not actually going to be doing any other forging, I don't think, this evening, because we're doing good on time, aren't we?
Yep. Somebody said it looked like your camera was on fire from that main camera because the fire's lined up just behind it.
Oh, yeah? Like, ah, it's burning. Oh, all right, we're going to give away a couple sticker packs, and then we're going to move on to the big prize that everyone likes and loves, the 66-pound Achaio anvil. Bam. So you all know what that looks like. Anybody who's just joined us, we'll be giving away a bunch of stickers. That way you can sticker it all up. So to delineate between the other comments, go ahead and comment, sticker me please. And Jessica will pick from one random sticker me please person. That way she can see them in the chat there. You ready?
Yes. We're going for sticker me please, yeah?
Yeah, we're going for sticker me please. Okay. Do we need to give them another second or so?
No, I think we're okay.
We're good? All right. All right.
We have CU Metals, so a sticker me please.
Hey, CU Metals, congratulations. You got a sticker pack. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support with your eyeballs, watch time, and all that other good stuff. We ready? Let's draw another name. All right, let's go.
This one is going to Old Wolf, who says, sticker, sticker, sticker me please.
Hey, Old Wolf, congratulations. So, Old Wolf's been around the channel for a long time. Congratulations, Old Wolf. Sticker you will. Contact stuff, you know. All right, ready? One more. All right, who do we got?
We have Chris Renaud with sticker me please.
Chris Renaud. Congratulations, Chris Renaud, so you've got yourself some stickers. Congratulations. So thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for your support. So before I give away the anvil, I'm going to go ahead and address a comment that I got in the past 2 weeks here, and it was about 2 comments actually about the giveaways that we do. So I figured I'd take and address this while I've got everyone's undivided attention and ears. So one of the comments was a negative comment about basically discounting the fact that or I don't know how you want to say it, basically saying that the live streams are worthless because they never win anything. So to answer those points, if you're a part of the live stream and you show up here because you said, hey, I don't really like this guy on YouTube, but I'm going to click on his thing to try to win something for free. Well, that's fair enough. That's all right. But I expect you to have to watch a lot of my live streams because the odds are with 300 people, you're not going to win if you just show up at one live stream and expect to win something when you haven't put in any time or investment into this channel. I ask for nothing. You don't have to go through 50 hoops to collect a lame item that I'm giving away. You don't have to jump through 1,000 loops or hoops or whatever. You don't have to do that. You just have to show up, give in the watch time. I don't even ask for you to be a subscriber. You don't even have to be a subscriber to be here, and you could win. Again, this is something that we do from our own hearts, from my big heart right here, to give back to the community. And that's to the community that supports us. So it pays, it would make sense, and it would stand to reason that the longer you've been a part of the channel, the longer you've been coming to the live streams, you have higher odds of winning said items because you're sitting here, because you're not here for ill-gotten gains. So, for those of you that have joined us, those of you that join us in the future, those of you who only show up when there's an ANVIL giveaway, your odds are significantly less and less the less and less you join us. If you don't play the lotto, you never win the lotto. Technically, you win the lotto by not playing the lotto, but just that's a whole nother rant for another story, okay? But this isn't a lotto. This is a free gift from us. And when I say free, I'll put air quotes up here because those people right there that super chat, the people who become channel members, those people who have joined to become channel members have been supporters of our channel for a long time with their watch time and with their comments and with all the love they've shared with us throughout all of these last 4 or 5 years that we've been on YouTube. So when you see those people, and you see them in the comments, shout them out. Thank them for that. Because they are what allow free items to be shipped to you. So they are what's keeping this whole thing rolling. Not the people that are showing up for 10 minutes and expecting to snatch grab some sort of giveaway item for free. So if that's you, you're probably never going to win. No, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But that's a little bit of a me Roy dadding you there, if you will. I'm doing a little dad thing. Get over it. Schmalls. just get over it. So the other thing, the other thing was about I had a comment that was made about it's all just basically for sales. It's just love sales. I have every right when I'm standing here in front of you and I'm presenting on a Friday night to take and say, hey, I have ways that you can support me. I have ways that you can come alongside us and help continue this thing growing and giving away things for absolutely nothing. There's 0 purchase necessary on this channel. There are we're coming up on 1,500, listen to that number, 1,500 videos on YouTube. All free. All free. So, am I a sellout? Am I all just for sales? I'm here just to collect your money? No, I'm not. I am a blacksmith, first and foremost, a professional blacksmith that makes a good living doing that. I come here and I give part of that living back, along with the people that you see here supporting in the stream every evening. So I have to get that off my chest. Those are my little rants. I don't know how the people are doing there. I figure while I got everybody's attention, but I want everybody to know my intentions real clear. My real clear intentions here is it's always been my heart to teach and to help build other smiths up. Those are my 2 main intentions here on YouTube. The thing about YouTube is none of these cameras are free. None of that software is free. None of those items that I'm making are free. None of that anvil that I'm shipping is free. None of that's free. The lights you see in here is not free. The time is not free. None of that is free. So it costs something to bring to you a show each and every other Friday. It does. It costs something to bring you that. And so I'm very thankful to those who have supported us in that mission and to be clear, 100% transparency. I really don't care for your money if that's the way you feel. So, you know, if you feel like the one commenter did, where, you know, I'm just here to basically be a snake oil salesman, there's the door. Don't let it hit you where the good Lord split you. Or please do. I don't care. I don't care. I'm here for the people who need support, who need encouragement, and I do that for free on YouTube. If I make a buck from it, so be it. I hope I make $1 million from it someday. I hope to have 4,000 members someday. Because you know why? If I had 4,000 members, you're not going to get some lame item once every year given away. No, I'm going to give away tons of big items. You know, I like doing that. I like supporting people. I like seeing people who's just getting started all of a sudden be like, oh my God, I won. And I just shortcutted them a long time where in you all helped, the members helped, the people who super chatted help that person, boom, take a leap into the blacksmithing world. And to have that kind of impact, that's what I want to use this channel for, and that's what I am using the channel for. So take it with what you will. There's my thoughts on it. If you ever want to know my thoughts, just ask me. I'll tell you. Just be fair. Fair warned. You may not like it. You may not like it, because I will tell you exactly what I think. So be careful. I won't be giving you what you want to hear. Comments, Jess?
Yes, I will read you some. No. Flat Rock Mountain Forge says, it's your show, it's your name, it's your way, don't sweat it. Walt Parker says, drop an anvil on my head. Alice Harvey says, great Roy rant, just sorry that it is needed.
Yeah. Well, so the interesting thing about that, in the Roy rant there, again, bad comments like that are a cancer. They are. You get someone spreading manure around, and then before you know it, everyone who stood next to them stinks. They do. They just do. So be careful who you associate with in the comment section. If someone's a negative Nancy, get away from them. Don't spend time dwelling in their space. You know, you can try to uplift them, but if they want to be a negative Nancy, don't spend any of your precious life on that. But they are. Those type comments, they get around Reddits and subreddits about your name. You know, people weighing out whether you're a con man or you're the greatest thing on earth or whatever, right? And whether you're worthless or any of this. Again, those type of things, they don't build anybody up. They don't help the craft any. And in 100 years, no one's going to care. No one's going to care what your Twitter thread said or what your comments on my videos were. I'm not going to care in 100 years because I'm going to be dead. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I will be 32 years old tomorrow, exactly. And in 100 years, I'll be 132 years old. In about 40 years dead. So, so don't, those type comments and negativities and things like that. I could be the biggest snake oil salesman and I will have to bear that out with my Creator. It will be on my soul, and I'll have to bear that out. Or my Creator will know me as that I was trying to be impactful and help people. So, and nobody's comments and nobody's opinions of me will change that. Fact.
Jim Patterson says, been watching for 4 years now, and Black Collar Ironworks says the real prize is to hear the Roy rants.
I don't know if everybody would agree with those sentiments, but yeah, who knows? So, all right, we ready?
Yes. Everybody's saying happy birthday now. Happy Roy Day.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. I gotta watch it. Yamez at Island Forge, he's pretty good at sniping memes on me.
He is.
Yeah, so I can't be doing too many dances or jigs.
Make sure you go over the little precursor to the anvil. We're getting ready to give that away.
Okay, yeah. Let's give away this anvil, shall we? Unless you want to address any comments. We're good?
Yep, we're good.
Good. Okay. Can they see it? That's number one. Okay, so this is a 66-pound Achio anvil. You can buy these on Amazon or eBay. We've got videos on them and links and all that stuff that you can go check out if you care to, or just do a Google search for Achio anvil and you can pull those up on Amazon and eBay. Great little anvil. I've done a review on them and stuff like that. I will be giving you one of these from the manufacturer. So I will actually, they haven't sponsored this. I'm paying full price for the anvil and having it shipped to you direct from the manufacturer. As I said earlier in the stream, it's only for the continental 40, United States, the lower 48 basically. That's the only place they ship it to. There are some other areas that you can buy them from. They're a lot more expensive to try to buy from the US and have them shipped that are in other countries. So if you don't see it, do a Google search in your home country. You might be able to find some cheap options there. But anyways, for giveaway purposes, we can only ship this in the United States. So this one's only open to the United States. The other items, they were worldwide. So, but we will go ahead and get this shipped out to you. It usually takes, right now with the postal system, it takes 3-4 weeks, just to be honest with you. So they suck. And they're going to get worse because we all know November 3rd is on the horizon. So I can't promise when it'll get to you, but it will get to you because we buy them right after the stream's over. So that's all the specs. You won't be getting this one. This one's mine. This one stays in the shop. This is my demo model, as you will. And for guests, when I have people over to forge, that's what I use this one for. But you will be getting one straight from the manufacturer, and it will work out good. Are we good? Yeah. Think we're good? A bunch of people are commenting already, aren't they? Yeah, they're slamming it. Okay. All right, so we're going to ring this little beautiful anvil, and when I stop ringing it, Jessica's going to draw one name at random in the comments section, and we do ask you to use a phrase. So we can make it something special. I like big anvils and I cannot lie. No, we won't make it anything special. Jessica says just put. Okay, long phrases. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Sorry, that hand wore out. Who do we got? That's the lamest draw.
I landed on Matthew Knapp, who says, a blacksmith is incomplete without their hammers and anvil. They are an extension of a craftsman who loves what they do.
Matthew Knapp, congratulations. Great comment. Great comment. Congratulations, Matthew Knapp. I have to say it again. Matthew Knapp, congratulations, anvil winner. Everybody give him a hand clap down there in the comment section as well. Congratulations, Matthew. Yep, we've got one more. Jessica can hold that up to her icon there. We also have a special submission that was sent in from Gordon Farmer Forge. You've seen his name a bunch on the channel here. He's a channel member, and he's also a regular supporter. Really early on in the weeks, Gordon. He sends super chats before there's any chats, before there's any live stream available. So he sends super chats really early on. But he forged a piece, and he can talk about it a bit more in the comment section as well. But basically, he forged one piece that you can add to wind chimes. Basically, it's kind of like the clacker. I believe it's the clacker portion that would clack into some wind chimes. So all you got to do is add some pipes and some string and get going. So thank you, Gordon, for sending that. He sent that all the way from the UK. We are opening that up worldwide. We'll ship it anywhere in the world. So who knows? It might go back to the UK. Wouldn't that be funny? So if it does that, so we'll go ahead and draw for that real quick, and all you got to do is comment. Ready? Set? Did they see it? Yes. Good. All right. Who do we have?
We have Keith Whatever, who says Gordon.
Haha. There you go. Keith Whatever. Congratulations. You won from Gordon. Awesome. Awesome. Well, that will probably conclude the show. As far as things, I'll show this off. I think that's cool enough I can do that. I won't be doing any other forging. I think we're right on time, which is a shocker.
7:14.
Hey, man, speedy. And that was with Roy Rance, wouldn't you know? You can't ask for better. Can't ask for better. Show off what we've got so far. What you got, Jess? There were some super chats that happened there.
Yes, that was Rigid Ironworks with a $25 super chat, who says you can braze with aluminum and stainless steel. Let's see, you can braze with aluminum and stainless steel, can be brazed with brass. God bless you guys, another great live stream.
Hey, thank you so much. God bless you, and thank you for the super chat. God bless you for sure. What's going on? Anything else? Was that it?
I think that's it, but I think, okay. There for a sec, I thought the chat froze because I'm like, it's not moving. It's just everybody got tired.
Everybody got tired. Like, whew, that was a lot of finger tapping. So, all right, so the exciting thing, unless you had a comment, I'm going to.
You're good.
I'm good? Okay, so the exciting thing, that makes the 10th anvil we have given away this year. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the super chat supporters. Thank you for the channel members for allowing us, taking us through this whole pandemic time to still be able to give away things like that. Awesome community. Awesome community here at Christ Center Ironworks and on YouTube. As a whole, blacksmithing community are pretty awesome. So we invite you to join this community. Join the community. Join memberships if that's something you're led to. Join in chats around the various channels on YouTube and become a part of the blacksmithing community. Even if you're not a blacksmith, join in. We invite you to do that. Certainly subscribe if you like the content on the channel and you want to get notified for these live streams, because that's what makes it possible. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to giving away our last 2 anvils this year, and I've got some things in the works. We'll see how it plays out for next year, our big giveaway items for next year. So I'm already kind of plotting and planning, and who knows what we might get into. They're probably all saying hi to Milk Dud now, huh?
I was going to say, Black Collar Ironworks, though, is saying, oh, it's Roy's birthday. I'm sending a pallet of borax. Coming right at you, bro.
Well, thank you, Black Collar Ironworks, for the pallet of borax. It'll go well for my flux cannons. So I'll take a pallet and I'll put in the flux cannon. So.
And Christopher Fay says it's also his birthday tomorrow, so your birthday buds.
Woohoo! Congratulations. Well, happy birthday, Christopher Fay. Yeah, we were born at the same time. What's up? Did you answer the super chat? There was another super chat that came roll in. Did you see that? It changed colors. I'm pretty sure it changed colors. Okay. Or my mind.
No, you're right. Yes, it was a super sticker from Gordon Farmer of a smiley face with his cool sunglasses on.
Woohoo! Cool sunglasses. Thank you, Gordon. Greatly appreciate it. So, all right, so we'll show this off. Go to camera number 2. Go to camera number 2. Hopefully you guys can see that. Brazed on there. See that in there? It's kind of all looks gooey and stuff. It won't look like that by the time you see it next. Once the pickling gets done and you file it off, it'll be gone. So we've got this to where it slips up about halfway on there, which is good. That means we can go ahead and, adjust the fit as we go. We can file this until that fits all the way up against our shoulder, which we want to do. We just wanted to make sure that we got it to where it was square and it was on there. So that's starting to come together like so. We'll have this. We'll have to drill it and tap it, and this will get threaded, and that'll go in on the butt end of it to hold our handle together, our handle stacked together. Flip it around to the other side. I've got this piece I've been working on. Still needs to be threaded. Still needs some other work to it to get that to fit. And that will be our tensioner that's going to tighten the actual thing itself. And then, of course, we have our wing nut all prepped and ready. So that's kind of how that's going to start progressing. You see how it's going to turn into a pretty little hacksaw frame, I think.
Oh, yes, very pretty.
Kind of basic, but it'll work.
A lot nicer than a store
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than a store-bought one. We'll give it that. It's a lot nicer than that. So it is a little on the basic side, but it'll go well. So this here, we're going to actually file. I might even do that in a stream. I might file this in a stream and show how I'm doing that. For this front portion, we're going to file like a collar around this and make this round instead of square like you see it. And I've got to get this adjusted to where it fits all the way through the hole and does what it's supposed to do there. So still got to work on that. So now it's just kind of fiddly pieces. I'm going to do quite a bit of that work before the next live stream, hopefully, and then we will work on putting the handle stack together. So most of this should already be done by the next live stream, and we'll just be working on fitting that final bit, doing the final fit up type stuff to turn this fully into a hacksaw frame. Sound good? Everyone see that? Look good? I like how this collar turned out. This collar turned out pretty good, in my opinion. It came out pretty good. Now, I will obviously have to clean that collar up a little bit with a file. I'll have to clean that up because it did get distorted slightly from the forging process, but that's okay. That's part of that. So we'll have to do a little bit on that, but it'll all come together in the end. I think that's a pretty good look thing. What do people think?
Alice Harvey says, happy birthday and have a wonderful weekend. Can't wait to see how your hacksaw turns out.
Awesome. Alice Harvey, thank you. Happy birthday. Well, no, I don't have to tell her. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to me, myself. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. Thank you very much for that. It'll be good. I'll spend a good day in the shop tomorrow. Maybe take a nap. Do a rare thing called taking a nap. I'm getting old.
Veteran Iron and Wood asked if you had anything special planned. I said, when I asked you what you wanted to do for your birthday, you said you wanted to take a nap.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to take a nap. That's what I get up to. I don't know. I might take it easy and just draw up stuff in Fusion all day in CAD. I might spend a day on the computer editing videos and drawing things up in CAD and taking a nap. Most likely I'll get out here and work. I've got jobs on the go, so that'll be my thing. I don't have an excuse not to work on my birthday, so. I think I've worked since I became working age, I've worked every birthday of my entire life, so, of my adult life. So it's really not that much of a travesty if I have to work on my birthday. I like what I do. So it's a good thing. So thank you all. What else? Good? Good.
Gordon Farmer says, happy birthday, Roy. I am 39. You're still young. LOL.
Woot! Young is a product of the mind. That's what it is. No, I am the oldest 32-year-old you might have ever met. Like I said, my ambition on my birthday is to take a nap. I gotta work on that. For me, it's kind of like I spend a lot of time. I'm high strung, if you couldn't tell. I'm a pretty high strung guy, so I'm kind of go all the time. And then there's just certain times that it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? You want to go on the weekend on your birthday? Nah, I want to crash. I just want to just relax, give my heart to where it can go down a little bit, not beat it 400 mile an hour. So one of those sort of things. So I like doing that on my birthday. And fun fact, my favorite thing on birthday to eat, I don't eat birthday cake on my birthday. Since it's October, I eat pumpkin pie. That's happening tonight as well. It's like I get a whole pie to myself. That's good times. That's good times. So it's okay to have pumpkin pie on your birthday. It's okay to have pumpkin pie any time of year. It's my favorite pie.
Metal Blueberry says, the working person generally works on their birthday.
Yep, basically. I've been accused of not being a working person before. like, oh, you do what? You fiddle around in your garage with metal? Right? It's like, yes.
Yeah, before we moved, you got some people like, oh, here's the job clippings from the newspaper.
Yeah, no joke. Well-meaning people, but for the first 6 years of the business, for the first 6 years of running a blacksmithing business and being in blacksmithing full time, I'd always have some well-meaning folks bring me job clippings where, out of the newspaper. And then, of course, we were always at church, we were always on the Thanksgiving basket list of people that low income, for like low income people or people who are needing, Thanksgiving baskets, the church that we were part of. We were always on the list by default, even though we had like plenty of food that no one believed I worked actually for a living. like, oh, they must be hurting. Roy hasn't had a job in 6 years. It's funny. You'll get that if you start your own business or start your own thing. And yeah, money can get tight at times, but and you definitely will have dry times in your business. But yeah, I enjoy what I do. I kind of retired. I'm like already retired basically because I love what I do. So still stressful. There's still some headaches. Still have to deal with stuff, but it's still a good time ultimately. Yep. We good? All right, folks, ladies, gentlemen, those that shall not be named. I don't know. The anonymous, the anonymous folk out there that are watching us with your eyeballs kind of creepily. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this stream. I hope you all enjoyed the giveaway items. I do intend in 2 weeks' time, so the next live stream will be in 2 weeks. Jessica's got a link for that in the description if you want to go set a reminder bell for yourself for that, so YouTube will remind you before it goes live. You might want to set it out an hour in advance. That way you're reminded of when we go live, because sometimes they send those notifications late. So definitely do that. Don't know what we'll get up in the next stream. I will probably progress more on the hacksaw frame. Oh yeah, and the next one. Yeah, so the next one's actually a bonus stream. Sorry, thank you for correcting me. I was thinking out to the next one. So the next forging stream, we'll probably be working on the hacksaw frame. Not quite sure just yet, but the very next stream in 2 weeks, Jessica's going to do an enameling stream. And she's going to show off her kiln that she worked hard for all summer long to save up enough money by selling some jewelry and things and products she'd been torch firing to make some different kiln jewelry. So she's going to show that off, and I'm going to be the lucky guy that sits like the octopus man.
That's right. You guys remember how it went back in February, so you're going to get another dose of Roy behind the computer.
I'm going to double shot the NyQuil and hit up the coffee at the same time. Woo! It's going to get crazy.
You'll be bumping all kinds of buttons you didn't mean to, huh?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have all sorts of psychedelic colors going. Just no one else will be seeing them except for Roy. So Jessica's going to do an enameling stream. Do you have any preview? Do you have any idea what you're going to be doing?
I think I'm going to do some small bowls. They're probably going to be like 4 inches, just because I have... Yes, it is. Yeah, I have a trivet, and that size is pretty easy to work with, so.
Yeah, so she's come up with some really neat designs. She's not going to say it and brag on herself, but I'll brag on her. She did one where she did this sprinkling over fall leaves with fall color. So like some leaves off the tree, she used them as stencils, and then she sprinkled like fall-like colors over the leaves, and then it left those blank on the bowl. And so she took the leaf away, and it just had the outline of the leaf, and then she fired it. And then so it looks really, really cool. It looks like a pile of leaves laying there in the bowl surface. And of course, this is all in glass after it's fired. So it's kind of, it's a neat thing. So definitely check that out. Come to that stream too. I don't know if we'll give anything away in that stream. It's just a bonus stream to finish up the month of October with. If you get the chance, stop on by. It'll be fun. You'll get more of my attention because I'll be there.
Roy, I'll get to read all the comments.
I'll be there reading all the comments. And Jessica will be in her natural element where she just stays silent and gets work done. Such a nice break from this guy, huh? Be like, this is a peaceful stream. Why can't we have more of these? But hey, who knows? Maybe we can get her to do a Jessica jaunt.
Oh yes, that was the equivalent of a Roy rant last time.
A Jessica jaunt. We'll get her to do a Jessica jaunt. See how we can do that, huh?
I'm really gonna have to stew on the topic because last time it was like working for your goals. That was like the spiciest thing I could come up with. So
people were like, lame-o. I'll try to get her mad before the stream. She can tell you how bad I am. I'll suffer through it just for you, ladies and gentlemen, just so she'll have some rant material. I don't have to try real hard, do I?
No, I actually don't get mad very easily, so that's, yeah, they're funny. What? A Jessica rant?
A Jessica jaunt. We call him a Jessica jaunt around here when she deviates from her plan or blushes super red. Huh? You can't tell. She's turning red as that sign back there on the wall. Oh, all right, we got to get out of here. So thank you, everyone. God bless in each and every last one of you. If you're just joining us at the end, you might want to watch on the replay. It's been a real fun stream. And if you're in the market, get into it now. So this way you can have them ready for your Christmas items, great Christmas presents. We are selling skillets, blank sets, ladle sets, and some different ornament type, hook type things over at our website, blacksmithpdfs.com. So check that out. So that's it. You good? We're good. I'm good. God bless each and every last one of you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Iron Room Forge. God bless you, brother. And you too, Rob Huff.